Okay, we are streaming now.
Hey there, this is Nox Dragon, and I'm here to talk about the dedicated server that we use for Sakurkasi's 7 Days to Die. First, I'd like to go over the server architecture. It's a dedicated server, a quad-core with gigs of RAM, running CentOS 7. It's running the 7 Days to Die dedicated server build, and the difference for that is the dedicated server build does not render a screen. It's the build that the 7 Days to Die publisher gives out to companies that offer hosting to people, and the app ID for this is 294420, which is different from the normal 7 Days to Die client game, which is 251570 that you get when you download 7 Days on Steam. So you change your app ID when you do your Linux build, and you don't have to have a display, you don't have to have X server, and saves you in frame rate on the server significantly. On this server, we have a few gameplay mods that suit our style of play. We're all big fans of The Walking Dead, and we like that kind of zombie experience. And so, what we have is the normal zombie cap on a server is 40 to 60. We have 400. So because we have a quad-core dedicated server, the server can run with 400 zombies spawned at any given time, which are massive hordes of zombies. We also have no running zombies, no climbing, no fat zombies, no dogs except in certain places, and we have airdrops that are very, very rare, one every 3,200 hours. So you'll see them in maybe 3 days of gameplay, you'll see one airdrop. I've also changed a couple of items. One, the hunting rifle does the most damage of all rifles. Little tweaks like that aren't big imbalances to gameplay, but give each of the weapons a role and whatnot. So what I'd like to show now is when you're operating a dedicated server, there's some things you need to have on hand, especially when you're streaming. And one of those things is the control panel. And we're going to show you what the control panel is, how it does, and what you can do with it. So we have, Cassandra's going to pull up the control panel now, and we'll show you some commands that are central to administering a server. Alrighty, so this is the control panel interface, and what it really is, it's scripted access to the server log. You can telnet to the server, or you can run the web interface, and this is the web interface. One of the most basic commands, and the first thing you need to go to when you have a problem with a player, is LP. You can type LP in, and it'll list the players, which Cassandra's going to do now. So that'll show you the folks that are online. And in the player list, there's two important pieces of information that you'll see. One of them is the Steam ID of the players, and the other is the currently logged in name. It's safer to use the Steam ID because it works if they're logged in or not. But from here you have commands like ban Steam ID some number, and then you can use times like minutes, hours, days. You can also kick Steam ID, and then after you kick, you can give a reason. I recommend giving a reason so that that reason stays in the log. The other thing that you should keep an eye on if you're running a dedicated server is in the line which has your server log status. You'll see a date and a time, then you'll see a number after the letters FPS in caps. Well, the FPS is how many frames of logic your server can process in a second. A very good number is 80. 80 is good enough. You'll see that we have a very strong server running dedicated, pretty much tuned to the max. So we get 201 frames per second. Considering I have a max population of 400 zombies, we're doing good. If you see a number lower than 50, lower than 40, the players in your game are going to see problems such as campfires not processing goods, events, things hard to loot, server events will fail to properly operate. They'll see zombies jittering. So keep an eye on that number. A lot of dedicated hosting places will give you a small fractional CPU to use, and this game can be beefy on CPUs, especially if you have a lot of players and they're spread out. So That's your best metric for checking on the health of your server through your hosting company. The other commands are available. Type help, H-E-L-P, and press enter, and you'll see all the commands available to your server. One pretty important one, let's say you're going to shut your server down. The button in the upper left-hand corner, which we're not going to press right now, does the server shutdown, graceful server shutdown, but it doesn't save. So type SA if you want to save the server, and we'll do that now. It takes a little bit of time, and you don't want to do it too often while your players are playing, because they may see the impact, but it will save the server state, and you always want to do that before you shut down the server.
It's asking for a password.
I've never seen that before.
Oh, the technical difficulties. Okay, so I didn't get logged out, but I entered the password after I pressed SA. I'll do it again. There. Now it didn't ask me for it. I'm not sure what happened there. But it saved.
The panel is a little different from telnetting to the server, in that it will log you out after 30 seconds or something of idle.
Okay, that's what it did then. It logged me out.
Probably.
Okay. Alright, so I think that's about it. So now I'm going to show how to actually log in with the server address and password for anyone who wants to join us in game. So here you go. We want to press connect to server, the third tab here. And at the bottom here you'll see where you put the IP address. The IP address is server.monkeypaw.org. Or you can try, what do you call that? What do you call the numbers? Just IP address?
Yeah, that's the IP address.
We have server.monkeypaw, or let me put in the numbers. .177.0.80.
The host name server.monkeypaw.org should usually be good. The IP address can change because we're in a cable modem, but check in with Cassandra's channel if you have any problems.
And what was the default port again? I know it's not the one that's listed here.
The default port should be the one listed there, which is 26900.
And then you'll connect and it'll ask for a password, which you can get access to by visiting my stream, adding me on Steam, and we'll get to know each other. I'll decide whether you're cool enough to join. Mainly we just want, we don't want, like, what do you call them, trolls. We don't want trolls on the server, we're all about having fun, so, yeah, I'm going to enter it, but I'll block out the password for now. It was recently changed, by the way, so we'll be providing, I think we have like 3 or 4 followers, Twitch followers that play with us, I think, 3 or 4. And it's PvP server, so killing does happen. So we need cool people around. Okay, 1 second. There we go. So it's loading. And this is our base. So what I'd like to have set up for any new people that enter our server is in this chest here. I'll make you guys a kit. So, Green Tea's listening right now. He's in the server. If Green Tea was new and coming in for the first time, this top row would be filled with supplies like a pickaxe, a shovel, some food, some water, some metal strips to repair his weapons, and some healing band-aids. And so there's 4 columns here, and every player could come and grab those, and I'll have it ready for them. I'd like to say I'm in charge of the crafting, the gathering and crafting, so I've been making cornbread, which we've actually planted corn here so that we can access it faster and start crafting it or doing whatever we do with the stuff we're growing. We have cotton to make the band-aids. We have these plants here, goldenrod flower plants, to make some goldenrod tea. And goldenrod tea helps with what, Nox?
Oh, well, goldenrod tea will raise your wellness, which is an important concept to understand. It'll also cure dysentery if you're unfortunate enough to eat moldy food or drink dirty water. Dysentery is really bad. If you get it, you should probably either kill yourself right away or go drink some goldenrod tea.
Alright, and then we've got some pretty little pine trees, which we can chop down and replant. We can replant everything we've grown here. We can use this for wood. This is really necessary to make our goldenrod tea and our cornbread from the corn plants. And I think, are these potatoes? Yes, our potatoes are ready to be picked, so we'll have a bigger crop once I pick these and craft them into seeds again. Okay, so I showed you guys our crops and the storage chest for new players. These are the public boxes, and we'll probably have to make more. These contain items that you can come and drop off once you loot stuff, like dirt. We really need some dirt, and we need sand. Sand is the next thing that's on my list to collect with a shovel. And sand can be found in the riverbank, not too far from here. I'll show you real quick. There it is. And you see the little house symbol that can that's put there by placing a sleeping bag, which requires 7 cloth. You can place a sleeping bag wherever you want your home base to be, and when you log in, you'll see your little house there, and you'll know how to get back home. So yeah, I tried to organize each one of these boxes. We have tools here, repair tools. Repair tools, I believe, are used to repair the concrete, right, outside. Like underneath, the zombies bang on our building. We're actually on the third floor of a parking building, and they like to bang on the cement, and so it cracks. And we had a problem where it was collapsing right here. There was holes here, so we had to go down, place some more concrete, replace the concrete blocks that they had knocked down, and use a repair tool to repair some cracks in the concrete. If that's right, repair tool, concrete.
Repair tools are used to repair and also used to upgrade. If you right-click on an object that can be upgraded and you have the right materials in your inventory, the repair tool will add that material to the item. For example, you can have scrap metal and you can whack on a frame and it'll make a scrap reinforced frame. Or if you have wood and you whack on a frame, it'll add wood to the frame. Also, you repair them with metal strips and they deteriorate pretty quickly.
Okay, so we'll call this the pantry. This is a public pantry that you guys can come grab from, and also replace the items that you take by helping with gathering, hunting and gathering items. Now over here is the food pantry, which we are going to need more of. We need more pantries because we're getting full. So here's the cornmeal, cornbread that's already made, some beer, some water, some yucca plants. This is collected from this is yucca fruit. This is what I collected from cactus. You can chop down cactus and collect yucca fruit. Goldenrod flowers that are used to make goldenrod tea, which I have not done yet. Some eggs. Don't eat the eggs because they are not cooked yet. Some blueberry pie that I scooped up off of some loot outside, and some blueberries. I need to replant these blueberries, craft them into seeds, and make blueberries. So I'll show you how to craft. So let's do the blueberries. So I'll press I. It's going to bring up my inventory, and here you have your character, crafting, and inventory. Okay, so crafting. I'm going to drag my blueberries over there to the middle of the middle crafting block, and it's going to say blueberry seeds. I need blueberry seeds because I don't think I've planted blueberries, so I'm going to craft them. So as you can see, one blueberry makes one blueberry seed, which kind of sucks. And so I can come over here and plant it. I don't think I have room, but I think I might have room right here. So you hit number 5, and you can plant your blueberry seed. There you go. Hopefully it plants correctly. I think I'm supposed to plant it on this mound here, not here. But whatever, we'll try. But that's how you plant stuff. And of course you press E to collect all this stuff. Now let's collect 1 cotton and do that again. Press I for crafting. Drag the cotton. Craft that into 4. This one makes 4 cotton seeds. So I can plant 4 more cotton plants. Now let's grab 2 cotton, and I'll show you what you can craft out of that. Stack the cottons, 1 in the middle, 1 on the top of the middle, and that crafts a cloth fragment. 1 cloth fragment comes out of 2 cottons stacked. Now what we can do with cotton, and then the cloth fragment, is we grab 1 cloth fragment and 1 aloe cream. So let's go back to our crafting. There you go. So cloth in the middle. There's 12 of them there, but we only need 1. So aloe on the top. Craft that, and that makes a bandage. How you get aloe is you go out and get an aloe plant from the desert, and I will show you where the desert is. So we're here. Riverbank and sand is at the bottom there to the south. There's Nox there, and Green Tea, who made a little house not too far from Nox. And you go all the way down here, and here is the desert where you can collect yucca and aloe plants. Let's see if I have some aloe here, so I can demonstrate how to make some aloe cream. I only have yucca. This is where I keep my stones and grass and whatever I pick up off the floor. Here's some clay. Clay can also be found in the desert where the dirt is. So what you'd normally do is you'd put an aloe plant here on the top, and you'd put an empty jar in the middle box here, and that would craft aloe cream, which you can then pair up with 1 cloth made out of 2 cotton, and you'll get a bandage. One of the better bandages. So here on the left hand side you can actually find things that you want to craft. For example, the aloe cream. And as I said, there's the aloe plant and the empty jar. And to make jars, which is something that I really need to start working on, is you have to collect sand. And you'll put the sand in this forge. There's the mold for the glass jars, and we already have 8 of them made, and that's all we have left, so we desperately need some more sand. And you'd gather sand, you'd crush the sand by placing the sand in the middle here. Yes, we are doing a little bit of tutorials. And it would come out here as crushed sand, and you have to put crushed sand. You can't just put regular sand. Crushed sand goes in here, and you can stack it, like, I think it goes on forever. You can stack a lot of stuff in here. And then you would press, I think you'd press craft or mold or something, and you have to add fire, of course, wood here. And it would turn into jars. Then we fill up the jars with murky water here. So right click, you've got murky water. Make sure you don't drink it, because you won't feel too good. Then we'll put it here. Add fuel here. Cook it, and it'll turn into clean bottled water. And you need clean bottled water to make cornbread. So add 1 cornbread there. 1 bottle of water, and it tells you it's going to make 1 cornbread, and it's going to take 15 seconds. So I add 1 wood log. 1 wood log burns for 3 minutes, a little over 3 minutes. press cook, and it'll cook me my 1 cornbread. There you go. Now pull it out because I don't want to waste that wood. It's not necessary to waste it. If you don't know how much wood to put, or you don't want to really do the math, you can just right click and you'll add 1 at a time. You'll add 1 log at a time. And so there you go. We leave these cornbreads in here because if you take them out, you can't put them back in. And if we take all these cornbreads out, I think you can only stack them like at 64. And so it's just going to take up inventory space. And I completely forgot about that. So I was taking stuff out and putting it here. As you can see, I have 4 stacks of 64 cornbread. And that's just a waste of space. So it's best to leave it in the forge, only pull out what you need. And I think when you need stuff, you'll right click on the stack here and you'll take out 1 at a time. So just grab what you need. I want to say if you left click, you might grab the whole thing, or you might only grab a certain amount. Whatever you can hold in your inventory, like 15, or like bandages, you can only hold 5 in a stack. So I think it's best to just, for me, just to demonstrate it by right clicking it once.
Most things, if you left click on the stack of forge.
Shit, there's a zombie up here. And I'm stunned. You get stunned when you get whacked. What the hell? Okay, we've got some serious issues right now. This is perfect. I'm trying to do a tutorial, zombie.
Zombies do not respect your tutorial space.
Spiked club is my favorite weapon. I'm not sure how to make that, but yeah, you can find how to make it in the crafting window when you press I. Shit, this is not cool. It's been a while since one's gotten up here. Usually with 1 hit, I can whack it, but I don't want to die. I'm low on health. But yeah, spike clubs are good, and of course, like, the lower health your weapon is, the longer it's gonna take to kill things. But spike club's really nice. I like it. Alright, so there you go. There you have it. This is my personal box. That'll be locked. You can, of course, make your own boxes and, oh, cool, look. Spiked club is the strongest melee weapon in the game. There you go. One of my viewers is letting me know. You can make your own boxes, and keep your stuff in there. Personal stuff. There's someone built a storage chest there. So yeah, there's lots of stuff here. Lots of little campfires. This one has some water in it. That one has some goldenrod tea. And as you can see, like, the goldenrod tea requires a cooking pot. I'm so nervous. I don't want a zombie to come back in. This, I think, is used to cook meat. Rabbit meat, deer meat. It's a grill. And here's another pot for the water. Another pot for the cornbread. Another pot for the water. And this requires a mold to make the glass. This is the food pantry. And these are Nox's items from back when he was hanging around this base. This here is a mold for bullet casings. This is a bullet tip mold. I don't know what this is. Oh, these are the iron ingots. And this is some more Noxus stuff. Molds and whatever. Junk. This is a cement mold to make bricks to repair the building down here. Looks like we got company. And I need to press control to become undetected. I don't think that zombie detected me until he was actually up here. These are weapons that, there's actually some that need to be moved out of here. They need to go back to the public one. Unless those are Sean's, I don't know. But anyways, I would like these to be weapons that people can come and use. Got gunpowder in there, oil, and this says food supply because this is what we started off with first. But I'd like this to be more weapons and whatever. Weapon repair kits, gunpowder, bullets. Sean mentioned he was going to do something or other with these. What were you going to do with all these weapons in here? It looks like you kind of started dismantling them and making guns.
Well, for some things, it's easier to just pull the weapon apart when people bring back like a busted pistol. You know, pull out whatever part of the pistol by disassembling that you don't need a lot of and stick it in there. That way you can slap together a pistol from the parts that you've pulled apart. Yeah. Well, on this server, a land claim block has a very large radius.
This is a land claim block. I was on mute.
The land claim block has a pretty large radius on the server, a radius of 30, with a dead zone of 40. So what the land claim block does is it makes, on this server, it makes your structures invulnerable to damage by other players, so long as you log in once every 3 days. Once you stop logging in, then your safety wears out. We've set it that way because we're not into AFK land destruction and whatnot. We're not really here for grief play. We don't mind PvP, but it's a pain in the butt to have people destroy your containers, so none of that.